And all that happens within it belongs to Jesus. Can God get some praise for that? No matter what you're going through, marriages, kids, whatever, the victory solely belongs to Jesus. you. Victory belongs to you. Victory belongs to him. Come on, Blessed. Victory belongs to you. Victory belongs to you. Come on. Victory belongs to you. Victory belongs to you. Come on, Sandra. The victory belongs to him. Yeah, the victory belongs to him. The victory belongs to him. Yeah, the victory belongs to him. Come on, Lena. Victory belongs to you. The victory belongs, it all belongs to you, Lord. The victory belongs to you. The victory belongs to you. Come on, praise Him, say you. Victory belongs to you. Victory belongs to you. Victory belongs to you. Victory Hallelujah. Bless the name of the Lord, church. We don't have to wait for the music to come on, right? We can praise the Lord without the music. Amen. Hallelujah. Glory to God. Glory, glory. Now, hallelujah. That's just for the song that we sing. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. You are worthy to be praised. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Amen. Today we're going to speak from the book, the title of this sermon called The First Four Seals Are Broken. The first four seals are broken. My focus statement of the day is that the opening of the first seven seals introduces the Great Tribulation. All of these things, ladies and gentlemen, come in steps. They come in steps. And we're going to go over some of that stuff today so you understand. Function statement of the day. It's time for us to know what that means and how to avoid it. The Great Tribulation. Okay? Seals have everything to do with it. Now I think that it was I think that as we have gone over like the starting chapters of Revelation last week, and we embarked on the subject of the Great Tribulation, we need to first know what it is and what it means. What it is, what is the tribulation, and what it means. It's pretty common for us to understand that the word tribulation means simply trouble. Trouble. Now I know that there ain't nobody in here that's ever undergone any trouble. Okay. I showed you. But as you can see, this is not just referring to some minute period of discomfort. That's not talking about that. It's not talking about, it is referring to a period of trouble. To a period of trouble. Hence, the name Great Tribulation. So why is it called the Great Tribulation? Turn your Bibles to Matthew 24. We're going to read 15 through 27. And let's stand for the reading of the Word of God, please. Matthew 24, 15 through 27. 15 through 27. And it says, the Word of God says, therefore, when you see the abomination of desolation, which was spoken of through Daniel the prophet, standing in the holy place, let the reader understand. Then those who are in Judea must flee to the mountains. Whoever is on the housetop must not go down to get things out that are in the house. Whoever is in the field must not turn back to get his cloak. But woe to those who are pregnant and to those who are nursing babies in those days. But pray that your flight will not be in the winter or on a Sabbath. For then there will be a great tribulation, such as has not occurred since the beginning of the world until now, nor ever will. Unless those days had been cut short, no life would have been saved. But for the sake of the elect, those days will be cut short. Then, if anyone says to you, behold, here is the Christ, or there he is, do not believe him. For false Christs and false prophets will arise and will show great signs and wonders, so as to mislead, if possible, even the elect. Behold, I have told you in advance. So if they say to you, behold, he is in the wilderness, do not go out. Or behold, he is in the inner rooms, do not believe them. For just as the lightning comes from the east and flashes even to the west, so will be the coming of the Son of Man. Let's be seated. There's one thing, if there's anything there that I want you to understand, is that there's going to be people that are going to claim to be Jesus. There's going to be people that are going to come, they're going to claim to be the Messiah. There's going to be people coming, and the people are going to tell you he's out there or he's in here. No. Don't believe it. Because what it's telling you here, it's going to be like lightning flashing across the sky. The whole sky is going to light up. You want to know why? Jesus is coming in all the glory of the Father. You understand? All the glory of the Father. You remember when it talks about him on the Mount of Transfiguration? Jesus standing there before Peter and John. It's like his glory came out and just entered. He met with Moses and Elijah. And it was that glory that he revealed on the Mount of Transfiguration. It's going to be glory like that is going to flash across the sky. The sky will completely light up. The Bible says that the whole world is going to see him when he comes. So understand, church, it ain't going to be no small thing. It ain't going to be no thing. Hey, you know, he's in the room. He's in the room over here. But it costs $5 for you to get in. You know, they're going to be running them games. You know, he's out in the desert and stuff. But I got a bus. So we can go ahead and get on it for $10. All this mess is going to be happening with people trying to run games. But you remember, you have been told, Jesus, when he shows up, it ain't going to be no joke. The light is going to flash across the sky and around this world, and you will not be able to mistake it. Amen? Remember, yes. You want to remember. So as we can see, the great tribulation that is coming is not going to be just a walk in the park. Okay? It's not going to be, oh, I'm unemployed now. I can't pay my rent. It ain't going to be, I'm homeless. Now I have nothing to eat. It's not going to be something as simple as, well, I have to sleep outside now in a cardboard box or in a tent. And I don't have a blanket. No, it ain't going to be like that, ladies and gentlemen. But it's going to be a time that will make all of these pesky things, these pesky little problems, seem like nothing at all. Yeah, it's big to us because we're living it right now, but let me tell you something. What's coming? It's coming. It ain't no joke. It's going to be something that is considered very little and minute compared to what's really going to be happening. The Great Tribulation is a time that is coming upon the earth that will bring worldwide hardships, disasters, famine, war, pain, suffering that the world has never seen or experienced before or ever will again. And it will wipe out 75% of all life on earth. And that's going to be right before the second coming of the Lord Jesus Christ, our Savior. Amen? Now to understand, listen, we don't want to be part of that 75%. So let's get it straight. You want to make sure that your relationship with God is right. That you're walking with Him, you ain't sinning and doing stuff that you know you like to do. We don't want to do that no more. It's saying you've got to stop doing the stuff that you like to do. Understand? God will make sure that you like to serve Him.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Amen? He'll bless you. He'll change the things that are going on in your life. Whatever it is that you like to do, He'll change that and give you something that pulls Him towards you, towards Him. Amen? So ladies and gentlemen, why do you think that we work so hard to get this message of salvation to you the way that we do? This is the reason why. If we got this many people that are going to be losing their lives at that time, we just want to make sure that you're not one. Amen? We don't want you to be one. We are not out here doing this because we didn't have anything else better to do. You know what I'm saying? We know that this is coming. We know that it's not that far away. We see the signs. And those of you, there's some of you out there that may be looking for signs, and that's good. Look for the signs. Jesus tells us when we see them, we know that these things are coming. But some of us that really, really look for signs, I'm one of them. The Bible calls me a watchman. And I'm looking because I want to always make sure that you get the message, that you know what is about to happen. See, ladies and gentlemen, the stage is already set. The stage is already set. There are no prophetic landmarks that need to take place before the period of tribulation begins. It's nothing that necessarily has to happen. Everything has happened already. And we can see all of the dominoes lining up even today. You ever seen dominoes fall behind each other? I mean, look at the news. Look at our president. We are in so much trouble. You know, we're in so much trouble. We don't even know. You know, this is amazing. Open up your eyes. Check the signs. You know, because it's all right here in front of us. All you have to do is watch the news. Now, if you recall, we spoke about, if you recall, when we talked about different things in Revelation before, we spoke about the three main views regarding the rapture of the church. You guys familiar with the rapture of the church? Yeah. Raise your hands if you're familiar with it. Okay, we got a few of you in here. Listen, those of you who are not familiar with the rapture of the church, listen closely. Listen closely. Those that don't know what the rapture is, it is when Jesus returns to take his church out of this world. Does that blow your mind? I know you probably heard people talking about it before, but it's literally going to happen. He's going to come back for his church and remove us from this place. And he's going to do it right before the tribulation period. At least that's one of the views. He's going to suddenly snatch it away from this earth, where we will be forever with him. 1 Thessalonians 4:16-17 says, "For the Lord himself will descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trumpet of God, and the dead in Christ will rise first. And then we who are alive and remain will be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. And so we shall always be with the Lord." Isn't that wonderful? Can you think about that? Can you visualize it? Now listen, this doesn't happen to everybody. You must belong to Christ. So if you're sitting in this audience right now and you don't know whether or not you belong to him or not, we can take care of that today. Okay? Yeah. Amen. We can take care of it today. There's a time where at the end of this we're going to make an announcement, and those of you who are not, if you have not received Christ, or if you don't know, even if you don't know, it's time to go ahead and do it then. Because all you have to do is ask the Lord to come into your heart and for him to be your Savior. And that you love him, and that you're tired of the sins that you're committing. And listen, let me tell you something. You don't get away with it just saying this up and then continue. Really sin. There'll be a price for that.
Yes, sir.
Okay? So that means, what does that mean? That means that if you've gone home to that little girl,
Come on.
and you doing something you ain't got no business doing, there's a price to pay. Yeah. If you ain't married, there's a price to pay. Amen? If you're going over here to 5th and San Julian and getting yourself a little something. Tripping when you get home. There's a price to be paid. You've got to stop that now. It's time to end it anyway. Ain't none of us no spring chickens. You know what? I was talking to Brother Joe and Brother Gary and all of us that have been around the block and even written the book. I'm afraid to take the hit. You know what I mean? I'm afraid. Because you know, some of these brothers, they take a hit or two, man, and all of a sudden, off into eternity. They're gone. Just like that. Messing up. Coming out here. Call yourself playing with the fellas, with the boys down on the corner. hey, I'm going to go ahead and skin pop a little bit, you know, and do a little this, do a little. And the next thing you know, you thought that you could do what you used to do. And now your blood is like spring water. You take your little hit, man, and boom, off into eternity you go. Flying away. Listen, you know, I'm telling you, there's those of us in here, we know what the deal is. You know? And the Satan, understand, Satan's trying to take you out. He don't want you here.
No.
Just think, if you turn and look at her and you say, honey, I love Jesus so much. And she thinks to herself, I didn't know he felt that way. I love Jesus too. Satan don't want you to do that. Satan don't want you to share that with her. And Satan especially don't want her to share it back with you. Amen? So what does he want you to do? Yeah. What he wants you to do, dope man will walk by, drop a package accidentally right in front of you. Yeah. And you're going to look at it. See? And then you think to yourself, let me go ahead and pick this up. Now you ain't picking it up for the right reason, so that you can flush it. You picking it up, and I've done this before, you pick it up, and you smell it.
Yeah.
See what kind it is.
Say that.
Satan's right there on your shoulder. Just take it on home. Remember that grade that you thought you threw away? I took care of it. You know. And the next, he wants you to go home and do it. That's what he wants. He wants you. You find a bag of dope. He didn't give it to you so that you could look at it. Okay? He gave it to you so you can get high. Is that true? He ain't playing around. He wants you to, now then just think about it. You do what you used to do and it takes you out. You know, Satan's back there just laughing. He's laughing at you. Because you know what, when I did that, because I did take it and I did do it and I did die. I even sunk down into right before the gates of hell. And I saw what it looked like. Wow. I saw it for myself. And you know what, the demons and stuff that were standing there in front of me, it was laughing. And saying, look at this one. Look how stupid he is. Look what he did.
Yeah, say that.
And you know what, all I could say was, yeah, you're right. You know what? God was good to me. He didn't let me stay there. He didn't let me stay there. He snatched me up and brought me out of that hole. And the next thing I know, I was waking up in that room again. I'll tell you, it was a heavy situation. But I want you to know. Just think if that would have stuck. I never would have been here. I never would have been here sharing that with you. I'd have never been here sharing the Word of God with you. Amen? And that's what the enemy wants. He wants you to mess up like that. You understand? Don't let it happen. Now, the three main views that we're talking about that are known as the tribulationalism, you have three different views. The first one is called pre-tribulationalism. Pre-tribulationism. Now what that does is it holds fast to the belief that the rapture will occur before the Great Tribulation period. Now this is what we all want, isn't it? I mean, because none of us want to be here during this tribulation period. Tribulation period is going to be rough. It's going to be the most terrible thing. Listen, World War I, II, all this stuff didn't hold a candle for what is about to happen.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand?
Yes,
that's one of the reasons why we want to be out of here. We don't want to be here. And the only way you ain't going to be here is to make sure that you're walking circumspectly now. Doing it now. Love the Lord, love God with all your heart, mind, soul, strength. And it's not later, now.
Right now.
Understand? Second, mid-tribulationalism. Okay, so you got pre-tribulationalism, now mid-tribulationalism. What does that mean? That means that the tribulation is going to happen right in the middle of the tribulation period. So the tribulation that means it's going to start, and in the middle, someplace in the middle, which means that we will go through some of the tribulation. It'll be really, really bad, and then taken out right in the middle before it goes to the end. That's what mid-tribulationism. That holds fast to that belief that the rapture will take place during or in the middle of the tribulation period. Number 3, post-tribulationism. So you got the tribulation here, you got pre-tribulation here, mid-tribulation here, and post-tribulation. In other words, after the tribulation period is over. Okay? Post-tribulation believes that the rapture will take place after the tribulation, thereby having Christians go through this judgment period along with the rest of the world. Listen, the tribulation is judgment. That's one of the reasons why I don't believe that it could be this particular one. Because if it's punishment, if it's judgment, why would God judge those who love Him? Why would He judge us? Those of us who walk with Him and do the right thing. That doesn't make sense, does it? So we want to walk with God in such a way that when the tribulation comes ahead of time, you're ready to go. Amen. So simply put it, why would God want to judge us, His people, right along with the rest of this Christ-rejecting world? As far as I'm concerned, I don't think He will. I don't think He will. That doesn't mean that you should wait. Okay? Don't wait. Get it together now. Now this is why we, who are according to dispensationalism, hold fast to the futurist view that the Great Tribulation will occur before the second coming of Christ. Before the second coming of Christ. It is also believed among the majority of Christians that the Great Tribulation will last for a period of 7 years.
Yeah.
A 7-year period. Now, I don't know about you, but that seems like a long time.
Yeah.
It's a long time to try to survive, because there's going to be some stuff out there that'll kill a brother in a minute. You know what I mean? All kinds of stuff. And we're going to be going through some of that here soon also. Can you imagine a 7-year period filled with nothing but pain and suffering and beyond all human comprehension? 7 years. You can't even get out of it if you wanted to.
Yeah.
If you wanted to, you can't get out of it. You can't go high. It's going to be all over the world. And there's nothing to do. You understand? It's unthinkable. And yet the Bible tells us that it is coming. It is coming. So why wouldn't we want to escape such catastrophe now if we had the chance? If you had the chance to escape it, why aren't you? What? Did you bring enough for everybody?
No.
Anyway, if you had the chance to escape, wouldn't you want to? Yeah. I mean, you don't want to go through this.
No.
And let me tell you something. Right now, I'm telling you what to do and how to do it to escape it. You need to follow through, brothers and sisters. You guys are my brothers and sisters. I love you so much. You have no idea how much I love you. We all need to. Well, thank you, guys. Thank you. But we all need to come together, man, and get it together, love one another the way that we should, so that we will be ready when that time comes. Amen?
Amen.
Now, the beginning of this 7-year Great Tribulation is marked by several different events. These events, upon seeing them take place, should make one aware of what is about to happen. Now, according to Revelation 6, 1 through 8, it tells us what is going to happen that will bring everything into full effect. Everything that is going to bring this sinful world to its knees.
Yes.
Amen?
Amen.
We begin by reading about what happens when Jesus begins to break the seals that were in the book of Revelation and when it was given to him. Now the book that was given to Jesus Christ was the deed ranch. In other words, of the whole world. See, Satan has been in control. He's been in control ever since the fall of Adam and Eve.
Yes.
So then he had that book or that deed to the earth. He's been running the show. That's why it's been in so much mess. But when Christ died on the cross, that book, that deed was given to him. Okay? He is the one who is in authority. The simple world to its knees. We begin by reading about what happened when Jesus begins to break the seals that were in the book that was given to him. Remember in the book of Revelation, it's talking about 7 seals. The first 4 we're going to deal with today. This was the title deed to the earth, which he paid for with his blood. He paid for it with his blood. But before we go there, it's important to understand that we as pre-tribulationists believe that we will not be here when the first seal is broken. We don't believe that we're going to be here. Now, it's a possibility that we could be wrong, but it doesn't matter. We belong to Christ and everything is going to be okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay? Now, the first seal, when it's broken, okay, when it is broken, it ushers in the Great Tribulational period. Now, I want you to understand, right now, see what we're doing? We're here in church, we're having a wonderful service. There's all kinds of stuff that's going on out there in the streets. Jesus is up in heaven, standing there with the seals. And he's watching all of us go to church, and he's watching all the stuff that's happening. And then he grabs the seal, and he's looking down. He just hasn't pulled it yet. He just has not broken the seal yet. But this is how close we are.
Yes.
He's standing there. He's looking at us, and he's just half a heartbeat away from front. Amen? That's where we're at. We need to understand that. Okay? So, it comes down to this. If you're watching, if you're watching in person at what I'm about to describe to you, like I just tried to help you do, then you may have been left behind. If if Jesus pulls that or breaks that seal, okay, we're not supposed to be here. We're supposed to be in heaven with him. If we're not, and we're here, and we're watching and witnessing all these seals being broken, you ain't supposed to be here. Something is wrong.
Yes, sir.
What does that mean? That means that you better hit your knees. You better hit your knees. You better start praying. You better ask God to forgive you and stop the mess that you're doing. Let me tell you something. You know, people that are smoking crack, that are stuck, even tribulation stuff ain't going to stop them. They going to still do. Now, unless they got a healthy respect for God, for Jesus in their life. If they got a healthy respect for that, then they'll keep things straight. Amen? They'll get it straight. They'll make the proper decisions. You know, I don't care what anybody says. That pipe, even when I was smoking all that dope, and I used to love to smoke it. And I was smoking that dope. If I seen the tribulation period coming, I am done. I am done. I'm not, man, let me break this pipe. You know what? It's important to break it down. Break it down. If you're messing up with that stuff, break it down. If you're smoking weed, throw that stuff away. And I know a lot of you in here are probably doing that because why? It's legal. Yeah, that's what they say. Yeah, it's legal. But let me tell you something. It ain't legal to God. Anything that you're taking that you're taking is that you get high is not right. You want to get high on God. Okay? That's straight up. That's real. We'll leave that alone. So the pre-tribulationism is correct. If it's correct, that means that the church is gone and you are left here to deal with the judgments that this planet is about to go through. Don't let yourself get stuck here. Don't let yourself be looking around going, oh no. Can you imagine what that must feel like? I messed up. I'm not gone with the rest of my church family or my real family. I'm still standing here because you messed up, because you wanted to keep getting high, because you wanted to keep firing up that Tusky. You wanted to keep firing up that glass thing. I can't do that. You need to leave it alone. Turn your Bibles to Revelation 6. We're going to read 1 through 8. Revelation 6, 1 through 8. Revelation 6, 1 through 8. Give me an amen when you're ready.
Amen.
All right. And the Word of God says, Then I saw when the Lamb broke one of the 7 seals. And I heard one of the 4 living creatures saying, as with a voice of thunder, Come! And I looked, and behold, a white horse. And he who sat on it had a bow and a crown, and was given to him. And he went out, conquering and to conquer. When he broke the 2nd seal, I heard the 2nd living creature saying, Come! And another, a red horse, went out, and to him who sat on it was granted to take peace from the earth, and that men would slay one another, and a great sword was given to him. And when he broke the 3rd seal, I heard the 3rd living creature saying, Come! And I looked, and behold, a black horse, and he who sat on it had a pair of scales in his hand. And I heard something like a voice in the center of 4 living creatures saying, A quart of wheat for a denarius, and 3 quarts of barley for a denarius. And do not damage the oil and the wine. And when the Lamb broke the 4th seal, I heard the voice of the 4th living creature saying, Come! And I looked, and behold, an ashen horse. And he who sat on it had the name Death, and Hades was following with him. Authority was given to them over 1/4 of the earth, to kill with sword, and with famine, and with pestilence, and by the wild beasts of the earth. These horses symbolize what is coming upon the earth. Okay, and it's coming in order. It's coming in that order for a reason. And we're going to go over that right now. These are only the first 4 seals that are broken. Now there are more to come after that. So let's let's take a look right now at these first 4 and break them down so that we can have an accurate understanding of what this means. This accurate understanding is going to spell it out because they're all in order. And you want to learn this. This is something that you want to learn even when it comes to wars that are not the Great Tribulation. These things happen even now. World War I, World War II, the Korean War, Vietnam War, all of these things happen. So now the first seal is broken. The white horse comes out. It says, this is the representative of someone who's coming to save. Why? Because he's got a white horse. He's supposed to be the good guy. He's coming in. He's got a crown on his head. And he's got a bow in his hand, a weapon. Everybody thinks, a lot of people think that, oh, this must be Jesus Christ coming to save us. No, it's not Jesus Christ. It's the Antichrist.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
It's the Antichrist. He has a bow. Okay, and he's coming. He is a deceiver. And what he wants to do, he's going to come into this world and he's going to deceive everybody and make you think that he's coming to bring peace. That's not what he's coming to bring. Okay, he's a deceiver. Most theologians recognize him as the Antichrist.
Yes, sir.
So remember, Antichrist comes in riding a white horse. He thinks he's all that and a bag of popcorn. Okay? He's coming in, he's riding, he's got a bow, he's got a crown. Hey, I'm your man. You ever seen Snoop Dogg? Yeah, they want to be the answer to all your questions. Okay, let's look at these things that he has. First thing he had was a bow. Now the bow has always been representative of what? Weaponry. Weaponry. Going to battle. It's always been a vision of war. You got a bow, that means you're going to shoot somebody. Okay? A man doesn't come at you with a weapon unless he intends to use it. Okay? If you ain't going to use it, you ain't got no business pulling it out. Ain't that right, Al? That's right. Don't even do it. The next thing that we see that he has on, he has a crown on. He has a crown. Now, this is interesting because this crown symbolizes that he has authority to do what he is going to do.
Yeah.
He has the authority to do it. But as you can see, that crown it was given to him. It didn't come in, he didn't have it, it was given to him. In other words, he would have no authority unless it was given to him. So somebody had to grant him this authority. Somebody had to give him this crown. Somebody had to give him this weaponry. It was all given to him, which means that he is only given the authority that God wants him to have. You understand? It isn't forever. Also, the Bible says that he comes conquering and to conquer. These words reveal to us that this individual is not here to be our friend. You understand?
Yes, sir.
He's not here to be our friend. He's coming here to put you in bondage, to conquer you, to lead you like slaves. He's here to bring everything under his rule. He is searching for nothing less than total conquest. Now we have Jesus steps up and he snaps and breaks the second seal. What happens? A red horse comes out. So you got a white horse and now you got a red horse that comes out. Now this horse represents war.
Yeah.
Fiery, that's why it's red. Fiery red. It comes and it represents war itself. A fiery colored horse symbolizing blood from the millions of people that are about to die. You understand? This is serious. This is serious. He's here to take peace from the earth. We have already suffered 2 world wars, haven't we?
Yeah.
Okay? But this one is going to be the war above all wars. It will reach entirely around this planet, engulfing all humanity. There will be no one that will not be affected. Peace will be completely removed from this planet. Okay? Altogether. And some of you need to understand that's already started happening. We have been enjoying the peace of America that nobody has been able to come and touch our shores until 2000. Okay, in the year 2000 we had them come over and bomb us, kill our people. That peace has been removed. And everybody, and it seems like everybody's trying to urge us to get involved deep. Okay? We got them guys over in the Middle East who think they can deal with America. We got Korea. They think they can deal with America. This guy's talking plenty mess too. Yeah, I got me something now that can reach New York. I got something now that can reach LA. I got a missile that'll come and bomb only the drummers. Yeah, he says, I got rockets now that I can shoot from Korea and only blow up lead guitarists.
Yes, sir.
Not really. No, he's talking all kinds of mess that he can do all this stuff, that he can blow up anything, he can reach America. You know how badly he wants to drop something on us? And you know what? I feel bad if he does it. Oh, Lord, have mercy. That's going to be a mess. So that's what that red horse is bringing in. So he's going to take peace from the earth. So like I said, we've already suffered 2 world wars. But this one is going to be the war above all wars. It will reach entirely around this planet. And there will be no one that will not be affected. Peace will be completely removed from the planet Earth. Okay? You ever look at those pictures of World War I, World War II, after the bombings in London and all that stuff? We're going to be living in stuff like that. Finding holes to crawl into to get a night's sleep. It's going to be like that. For all of us that are here, still here. Unless God takes us out of here. Here's the real scary part. This horse, this red horse, this horse of war, is being given a great sword. Now, what do you think that is? You think people are going to be running around swinging a sword?
No.
No, that's not what it is.
Come on now.
This great sword that has been given to us to use, nuclear weapons.
Say it again.
Nuclear weapons. Nuclear weapons. A great sword. Nuclear weapons. And that means they're going to use it. They're going to be blowing things up. They're going to try to blow us up. We're going to be blowing up folks like it's free. You know, we're going to be doing some crazy stuff. The whole world is going to be engulfed in nuclear holocaust. Yeah, you can see it. And you want to know why? See, America and even Russia, we have mindset not to do this kind of stuff because we know what's sitting and waiting for mankind. We know what it's going to do. But that guy that got over Korea, he has no idea what's going on. He can't wait to smoke some of us. You know what I'm saying? You got to watch out. You got to watch out. We need to be aware. And if you got a TV, watch the news sometimes. You know, get an eye on it. Figure out what's going on. Because when this stuff starts happening, man, you know, we need to reach up and reach up. God, help me, Lord Jesus. But I'll tell you one thing. You want to drop a nuclear bomb on me? Bring it. I ain't even going to feel it. It's just going to vaporize me and I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? But keep your eyes open on what's happening because we want to try to survive until Christ comes back first. Now, the third seal. Jesus is standing up. He's got the third seal in his hand. Are you visualizing this? Opens it up, breaks it open. And the third horse comes running out, and it's a black horse. Blacker than black. The black horse here represents of what always seems to follow war. Now listen, this happens not only in the tribulation period, but any war that's going on now too. This horse follows after war. And what it represents is famine. Famine. Why does it represent famine? Well, first of all, if you're blowing up everything, you're going to blow up the food and everything else. And you know, some of the armies that are coming in, that are coming through, they're going to need the food. So they're going to take it from you. You're going to need to hide it, try to hide your food so they can't get it. But if they get it, then you ain't got nothing. You know what I mean? So famine naturally follows war. Okay? Now the Bible is talking about scales. It's all scales. It says when famine hits any place, what does it naturally do? It drives up food prices for one thing. You go down to the store to try to buy something, it's sky high. It's sky high. When war happens, it drives up everything. Look at gas prices. Because why? The armies are going to need it. They're going to need to be able to get around. So they're going to take all the gas. So that means that any gas that is for sale is going to naturally go up. The closer we get to war with Syria, the more it gets ready to go up. The more expensive gas becomes. Now when war happens, we end up destroying much of the food stuff that's being produced. Or the military take it in order to feed the troops, leaving very little for the inhabitants of the land. We have a lot. The scale that the writer is showing us in that scripture is that a quart of wheat will cost a whole day's wages. A quart of wheat. It's like a loaf of bread. And it ain't even Wonder Bread. Don't take it. They're going to take the bread and they're going to charge you a whole day's wages just to get it. That's the same thing with the 3 quarts of barley. It will cost a whole day's wages. So look for this. If we are alive, coming up on the Spirit, you're going to watch all this happen. Now it also says, do not damage the oil or the wine. So there's some of those things that they want to make sure that they're preserved. Amen?
Amen.
Good bottle of Ripple. Y'all don't know what Ripple is, do you? Do you know what Ripple is?
Yeah, wine.
Yeah? Cheap wine. And Andy Green Springs and all that stuff. That's what's going to happen. Right? It's going to want to make sure that they keep the wine okay, keep the oil okay. There's going to be a lot of expense. Now, the 4th seal, he breaks it. And it says in the Bible that an ashen horse. Some people say like a real nasty looking gray. But an ashen. Maybe even a putrid looking nasty yellow. The color of this horse is very interesting because it depicts a most sickly sight. It's a sickly sight. One of a putrid nature. Its color is written in Koine Greek as koloros, which means either green or greenish yellow. Nasty or pale. In Greek literature, the color often interpreted as a sickly pallor or corpse as it lays there and rots. Death, of course, follows. This is the ultimate conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, of all the horsemen that are riding into the tribulation period. All the people that are going into it. They're going into this tribulation period. And this is their final answer. Yeah. It is the ultimate destination of those that are swallowed up in war, that die a horrible death from famine, from pestilence, or sickness. Diseases are on the rise. Ladies and gentlemen, look at what's going on right now. We got stuff that's on the rise right now that is nasty.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Nasty stuff that's raising up. I'm going to tell you something. I don't want to touch anything that's rotting and going to give me something that I can't get rid of. You understand? It's kind of like bad luggage. You know, you can't get rid of bad luggage. Always stays in the garage. You want to get rid of that. This stuff is coming up now, man. It's getting people, man. People are contacting me by touch and by sex and all this other kind of stuff, man. And let me tell you something. You know, back in my days, I'm going to be real truthful. We got all grown ups in here. Man, I was running wild. Give me the gals. I like the gals. I like the ladies. Let me do what I want to do. La-la-la-la-la-la. And now here we are. I don't even want to touch myself. I'm just kidding. You know what I'm saying? No, you want to keep, listen, you want to keep yourself pure. If this doesn't encourage you to keep yourself straight, what's going to do it? Because I'm going to tell you something. You go out there messing around and get into something that you shouldn't have gone into, you're going to be down at JWCA. They're going to be looking at you just going like this. Beautiful. Amen? They're going to start getting you on those regimented pills and all that stuff so that you can live. And you need to remember, there was a time you got HIV positive, you are through. But nowadays they can stretch you out and live a lifetime. They can do that. But don't let that. I mean, how would it be if you're HIV positive? And I want to say that there's some people in here that are, and I'm not saying this to hurt anybody's feelings. But if you're If you're HIV positive, what is it going to be like for you to live each and every day? You got to get up, take all the pills, do this, do that, just so that you can live. It's not worth it. It's not worth it for 15 minutes of joy. You know what I'm saying? And don't none of you men tell me it was longer than that. Because it wasn't. Just ain't worth it. This ain't worth it. Amen? Now also what follows this, when that fourth seal is broken, is Hades. Now Hades, why do we think that Hades would be following close behind death? What is Hades? Huh? Okay. Right on. Hades actually means the grave. But it is often translated as hell. Okay? But it seems that as we look at the word and its interpretation, it has received many inaccurate definitions. Okay? In the King James Bible, and it says, okay, in the Hebrew Scriptures, the word is Sheol, okay, which means grave. And it appears in the Old Testament 31 times. Now, in the New Testament, the word is Hades, which means grave in the Greek language. And it appears 10 times, but it appears 10 times as hell. Okay? Then the word hell, which is translated to the word Hades in the Greek. And it's also translated as Gehenna, which means a place of burning. A place of burning. And then last, but not least, it appears in the Greek one time, translated as Tartarus, which means place of darkness. Now let me tell you something. When I overdosed with that cocaine that time and I sunk down that hole and I got down to the bottom, it was blacker than black. I could not see anything. It was total darkness. No light whatsoever. The darkest dark is darker and blacker than that blouse you got on. It's just dark. And I couldn't tell. I'm looking to the left. I'm looking. I couldn't see nothing. I couldn't see my nose in front of my face. And then these demonic creatures, whatever they were, flashed light in front of me. Flashing light off and on. And I could see 6 creatures sitting around me, laughing, talking to one another, telling them how stupid I was. I couldn't do nothing but agree with them. I was stupid. So this place of Tartarus is talking about darkness. And I'm here to tell you, it is dark down there. Really dark. So many Bibles have haphazardly translated the word Hades to mean many different things. And it may not be too clear to us which one is accurate. But I would venture to say that I'm sure that none of us wants to visit any of them.
No, sir.
We don't want to go and find out for ourselves. Amen? So the fact that Hades is following close behind death is not a good thing. You understand? It's not a good thing. Because the grave claims everybody that death claims. Okay? Whether it be a place of torment or not. The only thing that I would say is to come to the conclusion is by reading the Bible. You need to read the Bible. You need to read the Bible and find out what it says. Luke 16, 22 and 23 says, "Now the poor man died and was carried away by the angels to Abraham's bosom. And the rich man also died and was buried. In Hades," talking about the rich man, In Hades he lifted up his eyes, being in torment, saw Abraham far away, and Lazarus in his bosom. So, I think it's pretty clear that Hades is a place of torment, according to Luke 16. And even though it may be the grave, but since it is a place of torment, we don't want to check that out. You don't want to go and see what's going on down there. I remember my father used to tell me, when I die, I want to go to hell. And I'm like, what? He says, yeah, all my friends going to be down there. I said, look, man, you ain't going to be partying.
For real.
You know, you might be dancing, but it ain't going to be because there's some music playing. That fire is going to be licking on your legs and your back and everything you got, tearing your behind up. You ain't going to live through this thing with joy. You need to understand what's going on. There is no pleasure down there. You understand? We as Christians don't have to worry about that though, do we? Because for us to be absent from the body, to be present with the Lord. Great. When we die, we go to be with Him. It's important you. That's why keep it straight, keep it clean, leave it all that other mess alone.
Yes, sir.
So we are now in the tribulation period, as far as the area that I was talking about. The first 4 seals have been broken, which have ushered in the Great Tribulation. We have seen the introduction of the Antichrist and the breaking of the first seal. We have seen the red horse and war that comes from it, okay, in breaking that second seal. We have seen famine and inflation and its matched with the black horse in the breaking of the third seal. And we have seen death and Hades in the breaking of the 4th seal. Remember these things. Remember them. Lock them away in your mind. When you leave this place today, think about it. White horse, red horse, black horse, putrid green horse. 4 of them. Remember what they mean.
Yes, sir.
Antichrist, war, and death, Hades. With these first 4 seals broken, the earth will be in such turmoil as God delivers the judgment to those that have chosen to ignore the salvation that He has provided. Ladies and gentlemen, He's given you salvation. He provided for you. He gave you a book that points right to it and tells you what you need to do. Why would you not take it? Why wouldn't you take it? Makes sense, huh?
Yes, sir.
Because I'm going to tell you something. If I see you down on 5th and San Diego, I'm going to drive by you going, you ain't taking it. You ain't taking it. You get ready to mess up with that little girl. I hope that the Holy Spirit takes over in her and she whispers in your ear, you ain't taking it. You might say, yes, I am. Gotta watch out. Don't let these things overcome you. Don't let your flesh take control of you. Yeah, she's a pretty girl. Leave her alone. So you put a ring on her finger.
That's right.
I know the deal. I know the deal. So, the earth will be in such turmoil as God delivers the judgment to those that have chosen to ignore the salvation that He has provided. Let us not be included in that number, amen?
Amen.
But grab hold of it like you were clinging to life itself, because in actuality, exactly what you're doing.
My name is Anthony Stallworth, and I'm the senior pastor at Central City Community Church of the Nazarene. We're located at 419 East 6th Street, downtown Los Angeles, on the corner of 6th and San Pedro. We are a church that serves the Skid Row community. So I'm sure that you can imagine that it's difficult for us to support our ministry with the tithes and the offerings. If today's message has helped you, perhaps you would like to come alongside Central City and prayerfully consider helping support this ministry by sending your tax-deductible gift to Central City Community Church, P.O. Box 13273, Los Angeles, California, 90013. Thank you.